Hello and welcome to Portsmouth This Week. I'm your host, Conley Zani. This show is under the auspices of Rich Rayner, our Portsmouth Town Administrator. Together, Rich, myself, and the entire Portsmouth This Week team are on a mission to build community. We do that by bringing you accurate and timely information about the issues that impact you. We introduce you to the faces, the characters, the leaders in this magical place in which we live. I'm so happy today to have the president of the Portsmouth Town Council, Keith Hamilton.
Thank you, Conley.
Thank you for being on this show.
My pleasure. It's my pleasure.
I hear that you have been on the council for you're going on 18 years, and this is the first time you've been on this show. So I can't believe it. I heard you wanted to come on this show too. Is that true or is that rumor?
It is true. It is true. It's nice to be able to talk directly to the citizens of Portsmouth. Yes,
Yeah.
I have been on since 2008.
Yeah.
So I will be going into my 18th year starting in November, I guess.
Yeah, and that's exactly, on this show, we just try to kind of educate everybody, keep them informed about what's going on. And I can't imagine anybody in this town is more plugged in than you are, so.
You would think so, but there's plenty of people who have other avenues of getting their information.
Well, right, and we'll talk about that. But 18 years, so you're a Portsmouth resident. Clearly you care about Portsmouth or you wouldn't have taken this job, right?
Absolutely.
Just give us a little background on you and the why. Why are you on this council?
Well, as you said, I love the town of Portsmouth. The
Yeah.
main reason I'm on the council is because I love the town of Portsmouth. I grew up here. My family moved here back in '72.
Yeah.
So technically, we're not the originals. We're not locals. We're not natives.
Right. I'm not native either,
yes.
but I feel like I have adopted this town and it's adopted me too. So I understand that. Yeah.
Absolutely. But
Yeah.
you would think 54 years would make you, but it doesn't. So.
Right. That's kind of a New England thing, I think.
It is.
Yes.
It is. There's a rule on the island: if you're not born in Newport Hospital, you don't count as being a native Newporter. So even if you were born in the Navy Hospital and you still lived here all your life, you're not a native.
Right.
So.
So we'll do our best here, right? Okay. So long time. What made you first run? Do you even remember those days? Yeah.
I do. I was fortunate enough to come onto the council and be mentored by a wonderful gentleman named Huck Little, who had 40 plus years of public service. He was on the council. He was a state rep. And when I came on to the council, it was on the heels of the infamous tent meeting. And one of the things that really shocked me about the tent meeting was watching people getting wheeled in wheelchairs and gurneys. And I thought, there's got to be a better way to run this town. And that's when I got involved.
Wow. So that was definitely before my time. I've certainly heard about this meeting.
Yeah.
So you were like, we need change.
We need something. There's got to be a better way. We can't be at each other's throat at all hours of the day trying to run a small town like the town of Portsmouth.
Right.
We have 18,000 citizens. We should all pretty much have the same goal: to live in the best place that we can.
Right.
Maintain our budgets, have great schools, have great roads, and just live our lives.
So I bet you feel like everybody has that goal. It's just maybe we want to approach it different ways, or what, like philosophically, like pull up there of the 18 years of wisdom, right? Like what's going on, right? Like how would you characterize?
It's interesting. I'm a firm believer that local politics should be local and shouldn't be politics. We shouldn't have a D, we shouldn't have an R. When you get on the dais and you're on the council, you should be thinking, is this in the best interest of most of the citizens of the town of Portsmouth, Rhode Island?
Yeah.
We can't satisfy every single person.
Right.
But are we satisfying the most people we can by keeping their taxes low, by making sure the kids are educated, by making sure that when they call, the police and the fire department show up? When there's a snowstorm coming in January, they know that when they wake up in the morning, it's going to be clear roads and school's going to be open. That's our job.
Yeah. Yeah. So let all the other stuff go.
Correct.
And that's hard.
It is hard. When there are things that come up. We have the trash fights. We have the wind turbine cable fights. We have arguments or discussions about whether or not disc golf is a good idea at the Glen.
Oh yeah, there's we're gonna have a big fight about that on Monday.
I hope it's not a fight.
I hope not.
It's an open space. It's an activity that can get families out to walk around.
Yeah, it pulls people there.
It does. It does.
Yeah.
And it's not going to stop somebody from walking their dog. It's not going to stop somebody from riding their horse. It's not going to stop people from getting together and doing yoga in the field.
And nobody's
It's
going to
just
the
another
hospital
avenue.
because of it, or
No, unless they twist an ankle on a rock or get some tennis elbow or disc elbow, I guess it would be.
do you play?
I do not. I do. I play the regular golf, which is even more frustrating.
Oh, good for you. Well, how about pickleball? That seems to be the
No,
latest.
I haven't done pickleball yet. I've seen way too many pickleball injuries.
Yeah.
A lot of bad Achilles tears and things like that.
Yes. Well, don't tell me that. I'm having my first lesson this Saturday. So
Thank you.
Anyway, so 18 years, and I want to get to what's going on now, but I would love for you to just recap some of the big wins, like the things you're proud of over this tenure. Like when you think about that'll be educational for me, given that I haven't been here even that long. And like, what are you proud of? What have you accomplished? Well, and not you in particular, your councils, right?
It's all about the council. No individual councilor does anything by themselves.
Of course.
So it's all the 7 people who are up there.
Yeah.
The biggest thing that I can think of that I'm most proud of is, I think it was about 8 years ago, the Mount Hope Park, which is Mount Hope Park now, which is Bristol Ferry Landing, was on the market to be sold. The gentleman who owned it, who lived over in Bristol, was looking to sell it. And
for a developer, possibly.
it had been approved for 6 condo units.
Oh,
so there could have been 3
wow.
separate buildings or 2 separate buildings with 3 condos in it. I forget which one it was.
Okay. So somehow you had your ear to the ground.
I was able to find out that Mr. Brito was looking to get rid of the land. He asked, he spoke to my wife at that time, and we got into a conversation about selling the land, and we worked with the land trusts, and now we have a beautiful park on the water where everybody can go down and sit and fish and watch a sunset. I mean, if you go down there on a regular, any night, there's a half a dozen cars just watching the sunset over the Mount Hope Bridge. And I think that's a much better use than 6 condos.
Oh, yeah. Well, that is good. But that seems like that took some effort. Like that's some maybe above and beyond, like I guess just maybe in the role you're in, ear to the ground. And
it's knowing what's coming up for sale.
Yeah.
And having good budgets to have the ability to have that money and be able to have a good relationship with the land trust to be able to purchase that piece of land and keep it open.
Right, that's awesome. That is amazing. Well, what else comes to mind when you think about?
Well, one of the other things.
What makes you smile?
I don't know
there's a lot of like.
I don't necessarily think it makes me smile, but one of the other big things was when we first came on, there was a 30-year fight going on with the DEM about sewers here in town, and particularly with the areas of Island Park and Portsmouth Park.
Yes.
And it continued for another 5-6 years. One of the things I'm most upset about during my term was getting, for lack of a better term, bamboozled by a certain group and costing the town $1 million. Not happy about that in terms of going forward with a plan to fight DEM rather than working with DEM to find a solution, which was done with a simple sit down with the director and trying to find a direction.
I hope it was over a beer.
It was over a beer. It was, absolutely.
Right?
Yep.
And that's how sometimes
things get done.
Yeah, you work with somebody, because again, I think we all want the same things.
Right. We all want nice, clean water.
Right.
But spending $60 to $80 million in building a sewage treatment plant that was only for a small portion of the town would have completely changed the makeup of Portsmouth. It would have created gigantic homes, McMansions in Island Park. I mean, we already have pretty big homes in Island Park, but you would have seen old family homes, cottages that people have been in for 50, 60, 70 years, leveled 2 or 3 of them at a time to put up bigger houses because sewers would have allowed that.
Yeah. Well, so that sounds like a big, I'll say decision, or just that was kind of years of, you said, a fight with the DEM, trying to figure out what is the solution going forward.
Correct.
And so now we have a Department of Wastewater Management, and we're on top of that.
And we are.
Yeah.
And we work with the DEM hand in hand. Todd does a fantastic job working with the homeowners and working with DEM to maintain the compliance. And we're working on getting all of the cesspools out of the ground and get everybody a working septic system to help keep our beaches clean. It is.
That's happening. We've had Todd on here. He's fabulous. I've never seen anybody as excited about their job.
Isn't it though?
It's really cool.
Especially about what his job is.
Yeah, and I tell you, that's one of the gifts of getting to host this show is I feel so blessed because I get to talk to people about the things that they love, and like someone like yourself, like you're clearly very, very passionate about what you do here for this town, and I appreciate you sharing some of those stories. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
So let's sort of shift to what's going on right now. Like what's front and center for town council and
well, this Monday night it seems to be about disc golf.
Okay.
Or frisbee golf, whichever way you want to look at it, disc golf, frisbee golf.
So you're going to put on your hat that is like, what's the best for the town, no matter what your personal feelings are about it.
Absolutely. I don't play disc golf. I don't intend to play disc golf. But I walked the property last night looking at, they were good about putting up small stakes in the ground where their tees and the baskets would be. And I don't see where it would be interfering with the makeup of Glen Park.
Yeah.
No. People who, it was great to see. Because you walk down there and you have soccer practice going on, and you have softball practice going on. There was a family, it looked like having a birthday party in the picnic area.
Yeah, it's a phenomenal piece of property.
It is. I mean, I go back to the old days of the 4-H fair and the tractor pulls. There used to be, if you walk over the wall.
Were you participating in that?
Not in the tractor pulls, but we did have animals in the 4-H fair. Guinea pigs, bunnies, yeah.
Oh, so I won't ask you what your bunny's name was, but
I don't even remember. The dog was Boy, I could tell you that.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so disc golf. What about the gas moratorium? Is that going to be discussed, or maybe you could just comment on that, whether it's on the agenda or not? That
it is on the
seems to be
agenda.
An interesting thing, and I understand that your personal work, like your work, let's clear up for everybody. Your town council role is just a small piece of who you are. You have this whole big, vibrant life.
Yes.
It is not your full-time job.
That
I'm
is
sure
correct.
everybody just grabs you at Clements Market or whatever and is like, Keith, I got to talk to you. Yeah. I'm guilty of that too. So.
And that's fine. And I'm more than happy to talk to anybody anytime. My phone's right here.
Yeah.
If somebody wanted to talk to me, all they got to do is pick up the phone and call me. I don't have a house phone. It's a cell phone. So if they want to call and talk to me, if I'm not busy doing something, I can answer the phone and talk to them.
Yeah. So your work is actually...
I work for a company called Controls Corporation of America. Yeah. We sell pressure regulation equipment to the compressed gas industry, which is generally nitrogen, hydrogen, oxygen. But my specific bailiwick with the company is a business development manager for liquid nitrogen.
Okay.
And I sell liquid nitrogen switching systems throughout the country and keep pressure samples frozen for pharmaceuticals and for research hospitals and universities.
Amazing, amazing. Well, so you're relatively schooled on some of the issues that this particular moratorium might, the impact of this.
Yes.
Can you kind of educate our viewers about that?
So gas flow and water flow for that matter needs to be in a sort of a loop system. So if the way Aquinic Island is set up now, we are at the end of the line. We have one pipeline that comes into the island, so if there's an issue with that one pipeline, the flow stops or lessens, which is what happened in 2019. And at the end of the line, which was Newport, the gas gave out.
There was none.
There was none.
What happened in 2019?
In 2019, there was multiple failures, cascading failures on the actual system that supplies the gas to the island.
And it had to do with the pressure of the gas.
Pressure of the lines, a valve not functioning properly, a valve closed. There's a lot of different attributes that added into it. So in order to continue with a good flow, we should have a secondary pipeline coming in onto the island. But in order to mitigate that risk temporarily, Rhode Island Energy, or before that National Grid, has installed what they call a peak shaving facility on Old Mill Lane, which essentially is 6 10,000-gallon natural gas tankers parked in a residential neighborhood that if there is a drop in pressure, those kick in and make the pressure up to continue the flow.
So they're like a Band-Aid.
It is a Band-Aid, absolutely.
Okay, all right, so that's the current situation.
Yes.
And we're trying to change that situation, or what?
We're trying to work with the environment, the Energy Facility Siting Board, the PUC, and Rhode Island Energy to hopefully change it.
Can you do one more acronym? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, sure I can.
There's so many.
We're government, so we can make as many acronyms as you want.
Right. Okay. So, all right. So you're working with all these entities to.
My main goal is to get the peak shaving facility out of Old Mill Lane.
Right.
It shouldn't be in a residential neighborhood, period. It's loud, although they've made some steps to make it quieter.
Yeah.
It's loud. It releases gas into the air, and there are houses nearby.
Yeah.
If this was in the middle of, I don't know, Melville Park or Melville area where there's no houses nearby, it'd be a different story, but there's no gas there, so that can't be done. So
Okay.
the best option, short of saying, okay, no more gas for anybody, which is what the moratorium would do, if you were building a new home and you wanted to switch out your oil tank and make it natural gas, which would be cleaner and healthier for the environment, you would have to put in an electrical system. And electrical systems in the Northeast are really expensive. You know, we're at right now we're at 10 cents a kilowatt hour. Come November 1st, we'll be at 14 cents a kilowatt hour. Last year it was
Okay.
16 cents in the winter. The year before that it was 17 cents.
So then this moratorium will drive people to electric, and then that's going to be so expensive that they're not going to be able to afford to live here? Is that I'm not following
that
the
is
logic?
my concern, yes. Is that it's already expensive enough to live here on the island and in Portsmouth.
Yes.
If we continue to turn the screw and make it more expensive, we're going to be forcing out our children who won't be able to live here, and we'll just be stuck with, you know, expensive houses that people can't afford.
So what's an alternate solution?
The best solution in my mind is to create a loop system, bring a pipeline in either from Bristol or from the north side of Tiverton, and create that loop that would, if the south end
regulate that pressure.
Right, would keep that pressure flowing. I had a customer in Maine who was a boat builder, and they had a pipeline system set up for all of their torches to cut their steel. And it was a straight line system. And when everybody was pulling their torches, the guy at the end kept starving his torch. He couldn't cut the steel.
Yeah, I get that cascading
Yep.
effect, yeah.
Yep. So we looped the system around, and it stopped the problem. It's the same exact principle here on the island. Rhode Island Energy knows it, and hopefully at some point we're going to come up with a solution to fix that. And it would help Bristol as well, because at the end of Bristol at Roger Williams University is a dead end as well.
So who wants the moratorium then? Like, why is that even raising its head? If it seems like you've convinced me, I'm, you know,
The moratorium
maybe
is
not
because
schooled enough to push back, but like that, I'm buying what you're saying. So
if you are a adamant believer in everything greenhouse gas and climate change, electricity is your answer.
oh, okay. So yeah, you
Yes.
want people to stop with the
Stop
gas.
using fossil fuels.
Oh, I see. So it's just sort of that philosophy, and there are, I mean, I get that. Like, there's some people that are like electric at all costs.
Correct, but the grid in Rhode Island can't handle that. The grid in New England can't handle it. We don't have enough green sources. We need actually a combination of all sources. We have seen nuclear power plants go offline and cause a supply shortage of electricity.
Yeah,
And if we don't have those power sources, if everybody goes electric, then we're going to have brownouts, and we're not going to be able to power. And when we look into this age of AI and the need for more power, it's going to become more and more precious to have electricity sources that are clean but have higher gigawatt potential.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I appreciate hearing about that perspective. So is that something that is voted on, or that the council's wrestling with it, or
The
it's just
council
out
is
there
going to
and-
provide a resolution of a series of steps that we would like seen taken, and that will be given to, we voted on Monday night, so there's a resolution, and that is given to, as an advisory opinion, to the EFSB, which is the
Okay.
Energy Facility
And
Siting
it's just an
Board.
opinion. It's
Just an opinion.
Right. Right.
And it's the same opinion that was given by Middletown and also Newport. Because if you
Okay.
cut out gas, you're also cutting out economic development in terms of restaurants and hotels and things like that. So
Yeah, absolutely. All right, well, that sounds like a biggie. What other big things? Let's talk roads for just a second.
Sure.
I know that we got some state roads that run down our island through Portsmouth, and we're kind of in, I don't know if the word is negotiations with the state, but like we got put on pause because we didn't do the roundabout, right? And so now they're like, well, we're just going to do everybody else but you. right now, Portsmouth.
Not necessarily. They're just going to.
That's too simplistic.
Yes, it is. We're not going to
Okay.
do East Main Road anytime soon.
Yeah.
My guess would it's either going to be 27 or 28.
Okay.
But we have other projects we're going to do.
All right, so tell us about that. Like,
Hopefully in the fall or early spring, we'll start seeing Sprague Street get done.
Okay.
And that project consists of new sidewalks on the north side of the roadway, and also repave the entire roadway.
And there are not sidewalks there now?
There are not.
Okay.
There are not, and that's where our kids, a good amount of our kids walk to school every day.
Yes. Right.
So the town, in conjunction with the state, was able to get extra funding. And if you go up to the high school via either Education Lane or Patriot Drive, you'll see new roads and new sidewalks that were put in last summer.
Yeah. It looks great.
It does.
And I know we all voted on that. Like, that was great. That was a bond for that.
That actually, no.
No,
that wasn't a bond. No, on the state level, it wasn't a bond. We actually, when I started, we had $156,000 a year for road improvements.
Okay.
We were up to $1 million a year.
$1 million.
$1 million a year cash in the budget.
So
that goes to roads.
17 plus years ago, it was 156,000, and now it's $1 million.
Actually, 12 plus years ago was 156,000. So this has only been since 2012, I believe, was the year we put the $1 million in.
Okay. Wow.
So it's been a while. 2012, 13, yeah, it was a warrant. So.
And that's ongoing. So basically, every year
Every year, there's $1 million cash in the budget to do roads. So this year, you saw Headley Drive, Long Meadow, North Street. You saw Ferrera, a few of the roads around the high school get done.
Okay.
So
That's great.
And then we're able to dip in, because we have a sustained program, we're able to dip into extra money that the state provides to help do other roads.
Well, let's talk about that sustained program. That's been a shift to that, and that's something I'm sure you're very proud of. Like,
Absolutely.
Of kind of creating, from a budgetary standpoint, like, that money will be there. I mean, barring any.
It's there and it's cash.
Yeah.
As opposed to taking out a bond and saying,
Yeah,
okay,
and
let's
playing
borrow.
catch up. It's not
Exactly.
reactive. It's proactive.
It's proactive and try. And even people in Island Park, part of the reasons we weren't able to do the roads in Island Park was because we were fighting with DEM. And until that fight was done and there was a potential we were going to dig up the roads and put sewers in, we couldn't do the roads.
Right.
So over the past few years, you start seeing that roads are getting paved in Island Park finally. And it's all, everything works together. And if we can work with our state partners, it is generally a better option than fighting with them.
That's my takeaway from you. You seem to be the guy that's like, I'm working either on the scene, behind the scenes, like to keep those relationships pretty smooth and seeing the big picture. It's really like, do you have a big picture? Because if you're a special interest group that's kind of banging on one thing, you just don't realize the impact of that on everything else.
On everything. You can
On
have
everything.
a cascading effect in the budget. If you look to do one thing, you can affect everything else in the budget.
Do you have anything in mind that you want to share about, like, an example of that, how one issue cascaded and impacted everything?
The biggest one is in 2009, when the market crashed and the state funding crashed. They actually took away all of our general revenue sharing funding. And it wasn't a ton. And the state has also cut educational funding. We used to get roughly $5 or $6 million from the state in educational funding, and now we're down to $3 million. So all of that has had to be made up by the taxpayers of Portsmouth. Wow. So I have, over the past 4 years now, put in a bill, or with the assistance of Terry Cortrin, our state representative, a bill to reinstitute general revenue sharing for the state, and not just for Portsmouth, for every city and town, where a simple math formula, as I try and keep it as simple as possible, there's 39 cities and towns, take $39 million, put it in the budget, and each dollar is designated out by the number of people in the town.
Yeah.
So it's a per capita basis, and that particular formula at that point in time was $35 a person. So the town of Portsmouth would get about $650,000.
Okay.
And that would go to direct relief for our taxpayers. And I'll be fighting for that again, actually, once I leave here, and write an email to the governor.
Okay. Do you have any designs to hold an office outside of? No?
No.
No? I think it'd be wonderful.
I appreciate that. No, I like it here. You're
really good impacting at the level.
I like the local level. You are more impactful at the local level.
Right.
I'll go back to I'm for nonpartisan elections in town. State and the federal level, it's a different story, and you have to have the numbers to do that. Again, whether you're a D, an R, or an I, when you're sitting up at the Portsmouth Town Council chambers, it should be what's in the best interest of Portsmouth. period. That's it.
Yeah. All right, awesome. Before we wrap up, let's talk senior center for just a second, because I know that's been a big change management project and everything. Tell us about that.
It's hard to miss. You
Yeah.
can't miss it. It's a big new building right on Bristol Ferry Road.
Yeah.
It's a public-private partnership with Church Community Housing. It's the first one of its kind in the state. We're getting a brand new senior center.
And how so? Tell me about that. What's unique about that?
What's unique about it is that most senior centers in town or in the state are paid for by the local community.
Yeah.
We are working with Church Community Housing to build 54 new units of affordable housing for folks 55 and older, where I am at right now.
Yeah.
And then also to have a senior center that replaces our older building that would have cost the town at least $5 million to repair, or more than that to build a new one. And in this case, we provided the land. We have a 99-year lease. We're going to get a brand new senior center run by the same senior center staff, and it's going to be a beautiful facility. And hopefully the goal is that people who are older and want to move out of their house, free up that housing stock, move into the Addie Bethune house.
Brand new
apartment
place with all sorts of friends.
With new friends and community. They can go down to the gym. They can go to the library and read a book. They can do Zumba classes in the.
I'll be right there. I'll be right there.
in the general purpose room. Exactly.
Oh my gosh, what a win!
It is.
Keith, what a pleasure to have you on the show. I hope you'll come back. I mean, we can't do another 18 years before you're back on the show. Okay?
I don't know if I can do another 18 years on the council, but we'll see. Thanks, Conley.
Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us on Portsmouth this week. I have a quick public service announcement actually about our senior center. So they are having an indoor yard sale, and I'm putting my glasses on so I get all the details right. But it is September 13th from 8:30 to 1:30. It's inside at the Senior Center, and it's kind of being marketed as a get ready for the big move. So this is really exciting. There's plenty of parking, and you can actually park at Ragged Island as well. The generous, wonderful neighbors there. There's a little bit of everything. Come support our Senior Center, and hope to see you there that weekend. Thanks very much.
Hi, we're from Aquidneck Island Adult Learning Center in Newport, Rhode Island. We're looking for students and volunteers for our many classes, including GED, English as a Second Language, nursing assistant, phlebotomist, med tech, medical technician, apprenticeships, computer skills, and lots more.
Please contact us if you'd like more information. Thank you.
Lucy's Hearth is a family shelter in Middletown, Rhode Island. We provide a continuum of housing supports for families experiencing homelessness across Rhode Island. If you are looking for ways to help, please visit our website at lucyshearth.org.